Broadly, our errors can be classified into two parts. One, errors that happen because of ignorance. We don't understand a problem completely or don't have enough information or a solution to handle a particular problem. We make errors there. The second part is errors due to ineptitude, where we have all the information, we know the solution, but we are not able to apply this properly, and because of some of the reasons that you mentioned. And those are the errors which are frankly more frustrating and more painful, that you knew what to do but you didn't do it. Brings me to one of the stories about Titanic. In April 10, 1912, that's when I think the Titanic set sail. So earlier when they were preparing for launch, there was an officer, second officer named David Blair, who was supposed to handle the arrangements and see to it that the ship leaves at the right way in the right time with the clients. And they were moving from Southampton to New York. At the last minute, David Blair was told that he's being replaced by another officer, who's more experienced officer at that time, Henry Wilde. And he has to hand over everything to Henry and then leave the ship in a hurry. He was being stationed somewhere else then. So in his rush, while David did all the handover, packed his stuff and left, he just forgot to give one key to Henry Wilde. And that key was to a cabinet that had all the binoculars of the ship. So on April 14, when the disaster happened, a lot of things went wrong for Titanic that night. But when Fred Fleet, who was one of the crewmen there, he was interviewed after the disaster, he was one of the survivors. He said, if we had one binoculars, we could have had more time to steer the ship away from the iceberg. So many a times, when we are in a rush, when we are impatient, when we are multitasking, under some emotional pressure, we make mistakes or errors of ineptitude, where we know the solution, but we don't apply it correctly. Now, for these, there may be some solutions which we think of as training or technology, but they are not complete solutions. There's a very simple tool that helps us handle these kinds of errors, and that is a checklist. That does better than any of the other tools that you may use to reduce this errors of ineptitude.